Guys, so today I wanted to film a makeup tutorial and show y'all what I do on my everyday makeup. So I'm going to go in with my Tula Rose Glow and Get It stick, and then I'll just put that underneath my eyes, just like that, and it just kind of has a cooling effect and helps depuff my eyes. And then next I'm going to go in with my Tula Face Filter Blurring and Moisturizing Primer, and I'm just going to use one pump of that, and I'm going to put that on the bottom half of my face. With the Professional Benefit Primer, and I'll just put this under my eyes, and I'll just do a tad, a tidbit, and that's all. And then I'll just kind of rub that in, and I'll just focus that underneath my eyes, and I'll just kind of pat it in just because I feel like it helps keep my concealer from creasing, and it kind of like, it's 4 pores, so I don't know, there's something about it that really smooths out the skin underneath there, so I feel like it really is good to focus it right underneath the eyes. So once I'm done with prepping my skin for my makeup, I am going to go in with concealer first. So for some reason, I always like to go in with my concealer first. I don't know, I don't like to do my foundation first. So I'm using the Born This Way in shade Vanilla, and I don't put a ton, I just do like 3 dots. And then I'll do that on both sides. Once I have my concealer on my face, I'm going to go in with my damp beauty blender, and I'm going to use this pointy end right here, and excuse my broken mirror. And then I'm just going to dab that until it's blended in. I don't like to use a ton just because I don't like to wear a lot of makeup, but I really like that concealer just because I feel like it brightens up enough. It conceals enough, but it's not cakey. It doesn't, for me, I've tried the Tarte Shape Tape, and it was just too thick for me. So I really like this one, and then I'll sometimes just like blend it on top of my eyelid just to kind of use it as like a base for my eyeshadow. I usually don't have my lashes on first. I usually just start with a bare face, so it's a little bit harder. But once that is blended in completely, then you can kind of see how natural that is. And then I'll go in with my IT Cosmetics CC cream. This has SPF 50 in it, and I've been using it for a while. You can literally tell it's like so gross, but then I'll just use a tiny bit, and I'll spread that around my face too. So I'll start with my forehead, and I'll just put a little there, and then a little here. Just finished blending in my foundation, and I use the rounded end of my beauty blender, and I'll just dab it until it gets blended in, and then I'll take it down my neck a little just because you want a nice transition. You don't want to look like you're 2 different skin tones. And then I'll go in with my NYX HD Studio Setting Powder, and I'll just dab the corner of my beauty blender in. I've already done this because in the video didn't save, so I'm not going to do it again. But you'll just take a tiny bit, and then you'll just dab this under your eyes. And I don't do too much, but I'll just do like that. And then once that's done, I'll go in with a fluffy brush. This is the IT Brushes by Ulta, and I'll just take a tiny bit, and I'll get it off. And then I'll just dust that over my face just to make sure it kind of keeps things in place, and it helps me from getting greasy throughout the day. And that's all I do. It's so simple. And then I'll just take the rounded end of the beauty blender, and I'll just kind of make sure that under my eye, like that powder is blended in so it doesn't look like you have a white line under your eye. And then that's done. Next up, I'm going to go in with my bronzer and my blush. So all I use is the Tarte Eye and Cheek palette, and then I'll go in with the shade Terracotta. I'll dab this a little bit, and then I will just put it right underneath my cheekbone, and it's just kind of like makes a natural looking contour without having that harsh line. And I just like to have a bronzed look, and I'll just put that in there a little bit and go underneath my chin and then on my forehead. And then next up, I will go in with the shade Desert, and I will put that a little bit and use that as my blush on the apples of my cheeks. And then I have 2 other blushes that I use. So I have 2 different NARS blushes. This one is in shade Dulce Vita, and this is an Orgasm. So I'll use the Dulce Vita first just because it's a little bit darker, and I feel like it has a very pretty color. And I've been using this one for a long time, and then I implemented the other shade, and I just feel like they blended together. It really turns out to have a pretty look. And then this one's more pinky. It's a little bit more bright. And then I'll just put that on the apples of my cheeks. And I do not use any sort of highlighter at all. Once I finish my bronzer and my blush, I'm going to go in with my Benefit Precisely Brow Pencil in color 3.5, and I'm just going to kind of make hair strokes on my eyebrows, just because I've had them microbladed, but whenever I put on my foundation, it gets a little bit on my eyebrows and it lightens them up a lot, so I like to make them stand out a little bit more, so I'll just go over with this, and I'll just make some brow strokes. Once I finish doing my brows with the brow pencil, I'll go in with my Anastasia Brow Powder Duo, and this is in color medium brown, and I'll just mix the two colors with my brow brush, and then I'll go in and I'll just add a little bit of powder to my brows just to set them in place. I add in the powder to set my brows, I'll go in with the Gimme Brow in color number 3, and I'll just brush this through the inner corners of my eyebrows to make them stand up and be a little bit bushy. For lips, I do this a little bit different. So what I do is, this is actually a very old MAC brow brush, but I found it in my old makeup drawer and I was like, okay, that is the perfect brush to use for lipstick. So what I like to do is, instead of using a lip liner that's a different color than your lipstick, I like to actually use my actual lipstick to line my lips before I put it on. So what I'll do is I'll just take that brush, and it's a really sharp, like precise brush, and I'll just brush on that lipstick color that I'm going to be using, and then I'll go in and I'll line my lips with that, and sometimes I'll go outside of my line a little bit, you know. So I'll start from this corner and I'll go up. And voila, the perfect straight line. Concentration is real. Once I finish lining my lips with my lipstick, I'll go in with, this one is a MAC lipstick, but the sticker was taken off the bottom, so I have no idea what color this is, but I love it. And I'll just, after that I go in with my Color Science Lip Shine. This has SPF 35 in it, and I love this one, and I'll just put very little, and it adds a perfect amount of shimmer, and it really keeps your lips moisturized throughout the day. Last up is eyeshadow. This is the tutorial that everyone has been waiting for, so I'm going to jump right into this one. So what I use is the CoverGirl True Naked Nudes palette, and I use these first 3 colors right here as my base. I'll just blend them all together because they're the perfect colors. I like them all, so I use them all. And I actually use this old little brush too. And I'll just like dab in each color, and then that's what I use for my base on my eyeshadow. So let's see. Just gonna blend that all over my eyelid. And yes, if you're wondering, I'm still a fan of these kind of little makeup applicators. I love this one. I have my base layer on of eyeshadow. I'm going to go in with my Happy Hour Morph palette, and I'm going to use the colors Manhattan and Last Call. I'll take this old little Eco Tools brush, and I'll just dab it in the colors, shake off what's left, and then I'll just go in and I'll just like kind of swirl it and go on my crease. Once I'm putting Last Call and Manhattan on my eyelid, I'm going to go in and I'm also going to use those colors on the pointy end of my Eco Tools brush, and I'll just flake off the excess powder, and I'm going to put that underneath my eye. Last step for eyeshadow, once I get that line underneath my eye, I am going to go in with my Stila Shimmer and Shine Liquid Eyeshadow in color Kitten, and this is magic on a stick. So all I do is, I'm actually going to need a mirror for this, and this is what gives me that shimmer on my eyelid that everyone always asks about. So all I'll do is I'll just apply it directly to my eyelid, and then I'll just pat it in. Voila, that is the finished look. All I did was I just put the liquid eyeshadow on top of my eyelid, and what I love most about that is it's going to stay on all day, and since it is a liquid, you're not going to get that fallout underneath your eyes, so it's like literally the perfect eyeshadow. So I really like it, and this is what it looks like whenever it's done, and that is it. I'll make sure and link all the products for you guys. And lastly, just for lashes, just so y'all know, I use the Huda Beauty Noel lashes, and then if you don't have this little thing right here, what are you even doing? So this little guy helps me a ton whenever it comes to applying my lashes. So what I'll do is I'll take my lashes, I'll just apply this Duo eyelash glue. This is the clear one, and I got this at Target. It's super affordable. It's the only one I'm not allergic to. I'll just swipe it across one time. I'll let it sit for like 15 seconds. It gets tacky, and I can attach it to my eyelash without it or my eyelid without it falling off. So I let mine wait about 15 seconds. I'll apply it with this, and then I'll just attach it at the center of my eyelid, and then I'll work my way to my inner corner and then my outer corner, and it stays all day long. So that's the way I've learned to put on my eyelashes, and I feel like it's the easiest way for me. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that little makeup tutorial. That's what I do every single day, and I'll make sure and attach the link so you guys can shop all of the products. So that's it, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.